Racial gaps in education don't only exist among students. According to federal data, in the 2015-2016 school year, over 80% of teachers were white and less than 7 were black. Now, this is notable because a report by the Learning Policy Institute revealed that when taught by teachers of color, students of color have better academic performance, improved graduation rates, and are more likely to attend college. Dr. Richard Warren Jr. of the UMES Department of Education is the director for the Men of Color in Education program. And you may recognize Dr. Warren from when he was on Delmarva Life as Maryland Teacher of the Year. Good afternoon, Dr. Warren.
Good afternoon.
So before we get to the subject, I just want to touch on the fact that you have joined UMES to teach the next generation of educators. Is that right?
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's been wonderful.
That's wonderful. Now, as part of that, you have become proactive in recruiting men of color to consider becoming educators. Why did you do this? What prompted it?
I always say that I am who I am because of those who came before me. And specifically when it comes to education, I'm really an anomaly. My parents divorced when I was 11. I moved to 6 different school districts. And according to statistics from the last place I lived, I should be living in poverty, in jail, or dead. But I'm here specifically because 2 educators changed my life. I call them my 2 gems. Mrs. Heidi, my high school teacher, she gave me hope when I felt hopeless, belief when I was in doubt. And she tutored and made sure that I got into high school and got into college. So I graduated from high school and got into college. And then Mr. Taylor, he was a school principal. He was the first person to invite me back to a place that I never imagined returning to, public school. And he offered me an opportunity to mentor young men of color. Mm-hmm. And then he offered me a substitute teaching job. And for the first time in my life, I considered becoming a teacher. And what I neglected to mention that really prompted me is Mrs. Heidi, she was a white female teacher. And Mr. Taylor, he was a black administrator. Mrs. Heidi helped me to break down those barriers and get to the next step in my life. But Mr. Taylor, he helped me to see the possibility that I can be an asset to education. So that's what really prompted me, and I want to be able to provide that experience for all of the youth in our schools, to be able to show them the impact that a teacher can make, and also to be able to show them that diversity brings so much value into the classroom and educational landscape.
Why do you think young men of color might not consider becoming a teacher?
Typically, boys of color don't have the best experiences in school. They're disproportionately suspended, they're not represented well in the curriculum, and they're overly disciplined, and then we ask them to become teachers, right? So I think part of it is to understand the black boy, understand the male of color in the classroom, and provide culturally responsive pedagogy in the classroom that caters to their ability, that cater to their behavior, so that they can be successful. Because the better experiences that they have in school, the more likely they are to return back to a place that they enjoy. And then second, I believe that the identification process needs to start early on. We have to do a better job with asking our young men of color or encouraging our men of color to become teachers. I looked at a research study and it showed that as early as the 3rd grade, white females are prompted and asked and identified to become teachers, whereas men of color particularly aren't asked or identified to become a teacher until college. That's a huge gap, right? So I think a part of it is identifying and asking early on and creating spaces for them to thrive, right? And the third thing I believe is, the young men nowadays are making economical decisions. They want to be able to provide for their families. They don't want to go to college in debt, and they want to have opportunities to be able to afford the next level of college. So what we've done here at UMES is created that space for them with the High School Teacher University that is brand new. It's an engaging 5-week institute that offers early teacher preparation courses for those students, for high school students. And at the end of those series of courses, those students can be awarded college credits, and they'll be notified of eligibility status for the Hazel Scholarship, which is up to $1,500 after they do these programs. So they have a chance to get 9 college credits in high school. And wow. Then when they come to the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, they will have an opportunity to get a scholarship and be a part of our university cohort. which they will be in living learning communities. These students, after they come from high school, will come here and they'll live in the same residence hall together, and we'll do activities that foster community and deepen their understanding of what it means to be a male, what it means to be a male of color, and also what it means to be a male teacher of color.
Well, Dr. Richard Warren Jr., thank you so much. UMES is so fortunate to have you on the faculty there, and we will have more information on our website, delmarvalife.com.
Thank you.